Hello everyone. Before I start the video, I just feel like sharing something. I feel that we don't give enough credit to David Ogilvy for introducing the concept of A/B testing to us. He was one of the initial proponents and he advocated using different direct email inserts, or what we call in the digital space as experiences, for different segments of customers, and based on the response, try and measure effectiveness. I feel that that's very forward thinking for that era. That brings me to the title of today's video, which is the Bentley method on developing A/B testing strategies for Amazon ads. I am personally very passionate about A/B testing, and I also happen to have a few industry certifications in this area. In this particular video, we'll specifically talk about product-based targeting and not really keyword-based targeting. Now, a common approach towards creating an A/B test campaign or a product target-driven test campaign is that you look at your search term report, try and identify the ASINs that are augmenting your sales and the ASINs that are probably not really related to your product. So let's say, for example, if you're selling rice and if you get popped up in rice cooker, then the rice cooker will be a negative product or a negative keyword or something like that. Great strategy. It does work, very popular as well. However, there are a few shortcomings to this approach, which I will shortly discuss about. The first and the biggest shortcoming is that it creates a pay-per-click bloodbath, wherein the only differentiation that you have, or the only way to win in this particular situation, would be to increase your ad spend or to increase your ad budget. Let me quickly show you what I'm talking about. So I am on Amazon.ca, and I have entered massage gun. And if you notice that it's a very homogeneous experience, all the products are very similar to each other, including the images, and there's hardly any differentiation that you can observe over here. And if you really want to win in this situation, the only thing is that you increase your ad spend, as I told you before. I feel that spending money is not the solution for your advertising or for your marketing problems. And that brings me to the second shortcoming in this approach. The second shortcoming is that it doesn't really factor actively for human psychology or buying triggers. So let me very quickly give you two examples. The reason why we love McDonald's is that the chances of experience going bad are significantly less. So that's a buying trigger for you. Similarly, whenever you order from a D2C marketplace, the first thing that comes to your mind, or at least what it comes to my mind, is that will they take my product back? Okay. So in a nutshell, if I have to summarize, you should not, whenever you think about advertising campaigns, that you should not, if you're really positioning yourself everything around ad spend, then you're at the bottom of the value chain, especially for A/B testing. If it's a launch, or if you're introducing a new product, then that's a different thing altogether. However, if you want to be at the top of the value chain, then you need to start thinking about your value proposition, position on value, position on buying triggers, and there needs to be some rationale behind your A/B testing strategy. The third shortcoming is more about us. We as category managers need to stop thinking about similar ASINs, and ad spend is something that I already spoke about. Because thinking about similar ASIN is basically just digging the same hole deeper, and you're not really reaching anywhere. What you really need to focus about is, or what I tell us, that product targeting is about shifting loyalties. You have customers who want to experiment, you have customers who aspire for a better experience. You need to target these emotions and keep your A/B testing strategy on the basis of these emotions and buying triggers. So what exactly is the Bentley method? So let me share a quick example on where the idea originated from. So Bentley markets its products at air shows with large stalls next to $1 million aircrafts and private jets. And you don't even have to go very far. This is an image from the Kuwait Air Show of 2020, and Bentley is the leading sponsor of the Kuwait Air Show. There are two advantages to this approach. First thing is the competition for attention. So you're not really competing for attention in a car show for Bentley, of course. against the Rolls Royce and the Maybachs of the world. The second advantage over here is that for someone who is looking at $1 million aircrafts the entire evening, a $300,000 Bentley is like spare change. Of course, there are multiple angles to this approach, but we'll just borrow this concept and apply it to A/B testing. So let's say, for example, if you're selling t-shirts and you're selling generic t-shirts and you're not really competing something like an Under Armour or a Lululemon or something like that. The characteristic of your consumer is that they have slightly fickle brand loyalty. Let's say your selling price is $10. In this case, your product targeting campaign, you would design and you would target products for something that for products that sell around $12. On the flip side, let's say, for example, you sell makeup. People who buy makeup or luxury goods, they always have an element of aspiration to it. People aspire for better, or in the former examples case, they want to go ahead and experiment. The aspirational customers will not mind paying 20% extra for a better experience. Of course, your value proposition has to be in place. And the ones with fickle loyalty don't really mind experimenting for 20% less. Don't run both the campaigns simultaneously. Run one particular campaign and try and flip side of it. So let's say if you're selling t-shirts for $10, you've targeted products that are valued around $8. Try and experiment with $12 the next week and try and see the comparison, try and learn from it. If you have a D2C presence or social ads running or search engine ads running, try and apply this concept and see what you gauge from it. And this idea is very similar to the concept of controlled trials used in the world of medical research and popularized by the book Poor Economics, authored by Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo. And before I leave, I just want to share a quick insight from the book. It is a common assumption that when poor people get additional income, they end up spending on calories. In reality, they would end up spending on entertainment, festivals, and recreation. Targeting your products on the basis of similarities and not really psychological triggers is a very similar assumption. So please feel free to download this presentation and let me know in the comment section, or you can always hit me up on my email if you ever experimented with this idea and what the results were. Thank you so much.